Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Electric Callboy is for me one of the most exciting trailblazers in metal, and every time they release a song, I can hardly wait to hear it. Today we're going to be checking out their new release that's about a seemingly innocuous elevator operator. Let's get to it.
You heard about a man, the lift controller, the lever king, I told you. Hop in and let the journey begin. Straight and shiny face, let you someone for all his face. So full of praise, I just wanna get it up and down. We're moving on around, we're going up and down. We're moving on around. I wanna show you my world, where the beat goes up and down. Let me open the door. Elevator operator.
Oh my gosh. I absolutely adore the fun of this already. It's so ridiculous and it's exactly what I want from Electric Callboy. I love it when metal is, well, I love metal and electric combined, of course, but I love it when we get this ridiculous level of fun with them. That is just what I want when I hear their music. Ridiculous fun. I gotta say, I was really hoping that they would be at least on the Grammy shortlist this year. Especially I wanted to see them on there with Baby Metal for Ratatata. But I was super bummed when they weren't. Okay, just putting that out there. I feel like they need a lot more recognition for what they're doing. And I've heard from every single person that's gotten to see them live that these are some of the best shows they've ever been to. Shout out to, gosh, where's, there we go. Shout out to Reactors Everywhere for knowing how to copy his face. Back to the beginning. It's so funky. I like it's almost got a tube sound in it.
You heard about a man, the lift controller, the lever king, I told you. Hop in and let the journey begin. Straight and shiny face, let you someone for all his face. So full of praise, I just wanna get it up and down. We're moving on around, we're going up and down. We're moving on around. I wanna show.
One of my favorite things about them is the way that they very quickly switch gears. I think it's so exciting, and it's really exciting to hear, especially these incredible what I would say, like very thick, harsh vocals, like really thick distortion. We get a lot of layers, I think, in there too. Have them back to back with these super smooth, almost pop-like cleans. Kevin and Nico, I love the combination of your vocals. You guys are just super awesome. Let's go back to beginning once again. That's a really cool sound to start out with. Nice choice there.
You heard about a man, the lift controller, the lever king, I told you.
Lever king.
And let the journey begin. Straight and shiny face, let you someone for all his face. So full of praise, I just wanna get it up and down. We're moving on around, we're going up and down. We're moving on around.
We will get into how those sounds are made later. Let's just keep going.
We're going up and down. We're moving on around. I wanna show you my world, where the beat goes up and down. Let me open the door. Elevator operator.
Oh my gosh, kittens. Oh, Sandra's gonna love this. If y'all don't know Sandra, you aren't in live chat enough with me. We premiere videos, analyses videos every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Arizona time. That's MST. And Sandra is a delightful person. She will say meow to you. There's also just a lot of cat fans in chat, and it's a really positive place. And we so happen to, most of us I would say really, really thoroughly enjoy Electric Callboy. So if you do too, then you should definitely come hang out with us sometime. This actor what's his name again? I saw it in my notes. This is Uka Bosa, German actor who's apparently famous. Here's the deal. I don't know pop culture very well. I know some things like Marvel. I gotcha. But most pop culture and videos I don't know very well. This is partly because the antenna got blown off of our roof when I was in elementary school, early elementary school. I didn't watch TV, or I don't have a lot of the commercial references that a lot of people do. Didn't have that. It just, my entire childhood was very much probably not like yours. So, famous actors in the US sometimes are over my head, and famous German actors especially over my head. But I like his vibe, and apparently he's based off of a real person, y'all. Based off of a real person. More on that in just a bit.
Well, the beat goes up and down.
What? Your face. So perfect.
Elevator operator.
This is like every single dog's dream, right? Hanging out the window, like, I'll just this is a dog's dream, and apparently there's two. You're interesting, y'all. Nice. That was a really cool. That sounded like a fry scream, essentially, or I'll just call it an upper constriction scream. I liked the consistency of that one a lot.
I wanna be like him. I really wanna be like him. I wanna be with him. Forget about that. Hats up in the sky, and we keep getting high. Imagine down in this level that you cannot deny. We're glowing light, keep shining bright. I cannot wait to get inside. Still out of sight. When we wanna go up and down. We're moving on around. We're going up and down. We're moving on around.
Wow, that's a different floor entirely. Different kinds of cats. Real person. This is about a real person, yeah, or it was based on a real person. I found this out, by the way, from Tank the Tech, who has an incredible channel. He also has managed tours, specifically works with Electric Callboy, and he met this person and knows exactly what this is about. I'm going to toss up a link in the About section to the video where Tank describes this. The boiled down version is there really is an elevator operator at the House of Blues in Chicago, because there's so many levels and stairs there, and there's one elevator. And apparently when they were performing there, Electric Callboy was so struck by his vibe, they decided to make a song about him, mortalizing the elevator operator at House of Blues in Chicago. I wonder how he feels right now. I love it. Love it. Let's go back a little bit. Ooh, Ariel. Oh dear.
Elevator operator.
I loved the tongue movement at the end of that screen. Just one more time on that. So, y'all, you may know that the Charismatic Voice is doing some vocal research, specifically on screams and growls. I'd like to put this all underneath the umbrella of vocal distortion. That seems to be a good term to describe it in the voice science community, although finding common terms is extremely difficult in this area, because the singers that we're trying to take terms from and find some sort of continuity, singers call these things different names, right? Sometimes You'll have somebody say, oh, that's a pig squeal. And another person will say, oh, that's a fry scream. And some people will say, that's a goblin, right? There's so many different names. And some people don't even like to say screams. They just prefer growls or grunts, maybe gurgles, right? It's really, really hard to actually find continuity among the singers performing these sounds that can then be used in a much larger research project to describe how the sounds are made. That being said, we're tackling it. It's happening. It's definitely happening. And one of the things that I find most fascinating is how a lot of screamers use their tongues. It's just absolutely entertaining. We already know from studying singers in different genres that singers can be very specific with tongue placement. But when you start adding like weird twists or flips of the tongue, or when people can do that, like that clover thing, and they use it in a scream, it's just, we haven't seen that used before in other genres. That doesn't exist. But turning the tongue completely sideways, that makes a huge difference to how the sound is channeled. So we're studying it. And I don't know if that's something that Kevin does in his screams. This seemed like it was more of a fun thing for effect. That probably is. Though, if you did that, I'd be really, really, really curious because I think it'd be a fun sound. But overall, this scream, again, I mentioned it before, that sounds like a high constriction scream for him, something that's going to be, I say high constriction, upper constriction, meaning where in the vocal tract it's occurring. You have different levels of where screams can occur or where distortion can occur. And that is essentially saying the bits of tissue at this level are coming together as the air is going past to create sound. So we have different levels of sound sources. At the bottom, you've got your true vocal folds. We usually associate these with pitch, right? And then you have just above that, the false vocal folds, ventricular folds, false vocal folds, same thing, okay? So if you hear people talk about those, just be like, okay, interchangeable, same things. Ventricular folds, false folds, cool. That's one level. And that tends to create a deeper sound. And then up above that, we've kind of bunched everything right now into another upper level. And that's where you have things like the aryepiglottic folds, you have the epiglottis up there, you have retinoid cartilages. There's a bunch of different structures that are up there. We even saw the hyoid bone get involved in Will Ramos's throat with sound creation at one point. But all of those other structures we're kind of bundling for the moment. I hope to find more delineation between those and the sounds they create, though. When I say there's an upper constriction, one of the ways I can define that by sound right now is just that the noise center is a little bit high, right? It's not a super deep one. And some people will call that a fry scream. I like to just say upper constriction to try and denote where we think it's actually occurring in the throat. But this one has really got remarkable consistency to it. Yeah. I love how danceable this is. Was that like a moment of elevator jazz that got, yeah, we're still connected to that. Okay, cool. Everyone knows that I use a wonderful trackpad now because of my screen cap. These, by the way, I love using these to edit audio, y'all. I know people have opinions. I have major opinions because I can use so many different kinds of like hand motions and different strokes to I hotkey those to different types of audio editing when I'm going through and trying to edit a file quickly. So anyhow, I love my Magic Trackpad. Not sponsored. Thank you very much. Uh, this was all a distraction from the incredible elevator jazz that happened. Thank you, Electric Callboy, for shouting out to that. Let's go back. There's some really, really awesome distortions that are happening in here. I love this combination of electric.
When I just wanna get down, but I'm just going up. You'll never listen to the tone. Know your body like you got.
His screams are really solid and strong. For me, there's a few different things I particularly like about screams or that I'll look for. One of them is consistency, which I mentioned before. If it feels like it's not stable, I get a little bit concerned. His actually feel, even though they're wild, they feel stable to me. And I also like complexity in the sound. So I think when a scream has multiple sound sources activated, I find that just personally more appealing. And I really hope that eventually we'll have studies that say, what kind of scream do you find more appealing, and put that out to mass public and see what people are responding to emotionally the most. My favorite thing, though, I would just say about the vocals in general for Electric Callboy is that there's always some sort of smile or joke in it. So often when we have screams and growls, any kind of vocal distortion, it feels really heavy and weighty. It's often about death in some way. And these guys decided to just turn that completely around and make this about just an awesome elevator ride. Like how it's so innocent and fun and funny. And everything, there's like, you can hear this joke inside of the tone quality. You literally hear a little smile inside, which is one of the ways we can just color any vocal, including a death growl. So pretty awesome.
When I just wanna get down, but I'm just going up.
I like that bouncing effect too. Such good production.
Know your body like you got. Well, we never stop. Get down.
Oh my gosh, that was so cool. They took the rhythmic riff from the jazz and then dropped it into the band.
Get down.
That was clever. Oh, and in the crowd too. Nicely done, guys.
I wanna show you my way.
Nico.
Where the beat goes up and down. Let me open the door. Elevator operator.
I love their faces when they're looking at this like famous German actor. It's just absolutely hilarious. Again, I feel so impressed by the way that they move so quickly between different sounds, yet maintain this thread of continuity throughout. It instead of feeling like something that's completely dispersed, it feels like one complete song. And even though I've been listening to Electric Callboy for years now, I still don't completely understand how they achieve this. They make it work and don't just, it's not like just passable. It's absolutely awesome.
Where the beat goes up and down. Let me open the door. Elevator operator.
Oh, we're gonna go on the rocket? Oh, I like that breakdown. Is that the end? No, there's got to be something extra fun here. I like that we're just like blasting off into space. It could go into another Electric Callboy song. You know the one that I'm talking about. I feel like, oh my gosh, there was a baby floating in there. But right there at this exact moment, it made me wonder if this is where the Borg evolved from. I want to give a big shout out of thanks to Electric Callboy and their team for creating music that features such a wide variety of genres and vocal techniques. And that is so much fun. I have just the best time every time I get to listen to your music. And if y'all want to see some more analysis of awesome Electric Callboy songs, including Spaceman, which I feel like is somehow related to this, check out this playlist over here. May you fall more in love with music every day.